Hi and welcome to Our Woodworking with Mitch Peacock. It's been a while since I've posted now. I've had a few problems. I've just come off a course of antibiotics which have made me feel really poorly. And I think the whole trying to get a video out every day for a while took its toll, but hopefully I'll be back in the swing of things pretty soon. I'm just going to show you what's going on at the moment. As I'm easing back into things, I've started to do a bit of work around the workshop. And well, this is what I've been up to. I recently completed the low table, this couch table. It's inspired by a smaller table that I saw in a film. Really like it. I wanted to make it out of walnut actually, but because of lockdown I had to use what I had around, and this is sapele. And although it's only had a coat of lacquer so far and needs a few more, I think you can see it's looking really rather nice. The figure on the top is particularly appealing. So really pleased with that. I've done a series of videos for projects like this in the past, and what I'm going to do with this one is put together a complete build video of me building the table, and then I'm going to take out some of the particular points that might be more interesting to people who want to build one themselves, and put some short videos out on that. Patrons will have seen some of the build already, and they'll see some more content as well over on Patreon. And whilst I'm talking about them, patrons, thanks so much for your support. Now there are plans available. These are the draft set that I used when I was building the thing. There's a little template I made for the leg, and if you're interested in plans, then they're over on my website right now. Something I've been keen to do for some time now is adjust the size of my large bench, and I've talked about it for a while, I think, in previous updates, but this is really the time where I can get to and do it, because I've got nothing else in the workshop to get on with at the moment. Sure, I've talked about my Sjoberg's benches before. This is the Elite, and it's the long one, 2.5 meters. And when I bought it, it fitted really well in the workshop I had at the time. It was ideal, but in this small workshop it's just not practical, so I'm going to be taking off about 1/2 meter from the end. I've already removed the tail vise, as you can see here. These are actually pretty good vices on these Sjoberg's benches. I really do like them, and be glad to have both of those up and running again. With that removed, I was hoping that by just taking out these barrel nut bolts I should say, I was hoping that I suppose you might call it a breadboard end, would pop off quite easily. Unfortunately not. It seems as though it's glued. It's probably tenoned on there, maybe got some dowels or biscuits or who knows what. So anyway, I'm going to have to cut that off, come up with some sort of joinery to put it back on further down the bench, but that'll just be some simple thing. I've already decided I'm going to use a track saw to actually cut that off. It is well, as you can see, it's quite a thick bench. It's European beech. It would be a hard job, especially in this warm weather, to do that by hand. Now I'm also going to be going through my tool cabinet and all the drawers and cupboards of tools that I've also got, or lucky enough to have I should say, and making sure they're all in tip-top condition, sharpened up, ready for use once I come out of lockdown. Here outside in the pond, the fish are all very happy. We've got lots of babies down there. Whether you can see them here, I'm not sure. We're having quite a drought this last month, and the water level's really gone down a lot. You can certainly see that in this section here, and that means the filtration doesn't work properly, and what I'm going to be doing is changing the filtration system completely. So anyone interested in aquatics might be interested in what I'm going to do. I've had this growing in here for a year now, and just to see whether it would help in this area when the filtration system wasn't running, and it's cleared the water that's in here nicely. So what I'm going to do is try adding some semi-aquatic plants such as irises that I have around the garden, because of course lockdown, can't get anything else. I've got some nice yellow flag irises. Those ones have gone over, but they were nice and sort of mauvey blue colour. I've actually got plenty of these yellow ones, so I'm going to be digging some of those up, separating them and planting them out in that little reel. I've only got a few baskets for now, but I think there are a few others in the garage, so hopefully get half a dozen, maybe 9 plants back in that reel, and see whether that will help filter the water out. I'll also be adding some of these peace lilies, which I have a couple in the pond. You can see where those peace lilies planted out in the border grow about 4 times as high. Much more lush, so I think they'll do really well when they haven't got the fish biting at their roots. I made some cosmetic improvements to the doors on this side shed, and I've also improved the frame, which was rotten, replaced some of that. There's this door to do, and that side of the frame, so hopefully get that done whilst the sun shines. Also done some repointing down here last year, and going further up there's a bit more to do up there. Out on the veg plot, the rhubarb is doing quite well. I've got some black beans growing down here, some radishes and some runner beans that are starting to go up the canes. And if you're looking at that fence that's clearly broken off at the post there, that's not mine, that's the neighbour's, so not something that I've got to tackle. Been hand weeding the lawn. With so little rain, it's difficult to use chemical weed killers. Don't like to water it from the mains water. You'll see on here there's some brown patches which are actually raised areas where there are ants in the lawn. Go over it with the mower, it takes off the grass and leaves a mess behind. So I've got a few lumps in the lawn to get rid of as well. Back to woodworking, the next project I have in mind is a children's toy. So this is a small project, try and make it quite simple so that everyone can partake and make their own. And I've also got an idea for something that can be worn. More on that later. So, to all of you still probably in lockdown wherever you are, stay safe and I hope to see you soon. Cheerio.